We've travelled away from Gavir about, well, it's supposed to be a 2-hour drive, but it's actually taken us just over 3 hours to get here to this lovely place.
So it's a good park up. It's on Search for Sites. It's a free park up, and there's plenty of room for many more vans here.
It's such a lovely day. We're going to get the chairs out and have a little sit and relax. We're in the shade, but we're opposite the river. And, you know, people are, you know, I know it's just a little air, but people are getting all their things out. Things have moved around a bit with our bumpy driving. I keep the table over this side because I thought
That's a good girl.
when we're travelling around, we won't be able to get it out much. When we're on a little campsite, you know, we can have it out and sort of keep it really there and available. Now I can't remember where I put it.
It's here. Here it is.
I thought I put it over this side because we weren't going to be.
You didn't think we'd use it, did you?
I'd move stuff around because we've got a couple of little presents in this side for our family where we're going. So
We can get a cold drink and sit down now.
we can.
Yes.
So it comes in this bag. It's called a Villy. So here it is. It comes sort of really folds up small, but stretches out like that, and then you get the ends which go on. They clip on to the edge, like so. Then you get the top, which just that all folds up into it's like little sections, but then you just pop that on the top. And that clips in and you're all done. And not only that, it's actually good for 100 kilos, so I can sit on that, no worries. So it's about 25 degrees, and when he's getting a couple of beers out of the fridge, aren't you?
I am indeed. Of course, as we're in Belgium,
The lovely Duval
we're
we
having
bought yesterday at the Aldi in Gavir, and we're 150 kilometres away from there, taking us just over 3 hours. The reason it took us just over 3 hours is because there was massive roadworks on the E17 or the A17, and obviously loads of
I'll get your medicines. Wait a
loads of
minute.
traffic, and yeah, it's also time for Pippin's medicine. She has like 4 lots a day now, doesn't she?
4 times a day.
4, yeah.
5 lots of different medicines.
So, yeah. How many?
5.
5? I thought she had 4 lots.
Well, she has an extra one when she's travelling.
Oh, that's right. That's to calm her down, to make her, make her sort of not worry about the travel, which is nice. You know, it keeps her calm, and she seemed really happy. So, you know, especially when we're in a place like this, and it's sort of right on the edge of this sort of foresty area, right, and then the river just over that way. It's you know, really, really nice. Yeah, so anyway, we're enjoying this. Very quiet place, quite a few vans, but it's like really, really quiet. Somebody else has just arrived and they're putting their satellite dish up. The people over there just got his solar panel out, getting a bit of sunshine, charge his batteries up. Sort of what we do, isn't it? Anyway, I think we're still in Belgium. We're going to stay here for the night, and we'll catch you up tomorrow morning after we'll be able to tell you what it's like here.
Yeah,
and
sweetheart.
how we've managed in our, this place, it's like in the middle of it's sort of near to a town, but it feels like the middle of nowhere, right on the edge of a river. So yeah, really, really nice. It's day 4 of our trip from the UK to Sweden, and we're in a little place called Lamel. Did a bit of filming yesterday, and actually what we did was we came out yesterday evening and we sat out here just behind the van, and then a few more, but there was more space. That a couple of vans down that way came, and that van there, the little VW, and these two, actually 3 vans came as well. So that was it's not quite full, but it is getting that way. All the riverfront spaces pretty much are taken. Maybe there's one right down the other end there, but parked around this way, we got the sun, we got the shade from the trees because the sunset over that way, and we've got the shade from the van in the morning. So it's a very bright blue sky, a few little clouds going on. So really, and it's nice, really nice and warm. So I've just stepped outside just to have a little look around, see what's what. Just noticed another big van down that way. Just there. There. That's it. It's about just after 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's all still pretty quiet around. Very bright though, very bright indeed. Have to keep the fly screens across and keep the blinds closed, because that actually keeps the heat out, which is quite nice. Actually, we've had the roof open all night, opened the door early this morning, and it's really warm outside, but it's much cooler. I don't need these sunglasses in here. It's much cooler in here. So we'll be making our way further east across the I think we'll probably make it into Germany today. I'm not sure. We can't, I mean, a couple of the places that we would go in Germany are, there's a place called Rinteln, Rinteln, Rinteln. That's a little air by a river. And also Gifhorn, Gifhurn, and that's another air by a it's by a canal. Is it a canal? I think there's a canal or a river, and it's right next door to a swimming pool stroke sports centre. Really, really nice. Quite a lot of spaces there. Both of those, Rintown, last time we were there, it was a paid air, but the payment systems and the gate was broken. So people, I spoke to one of the neighbours in there, so somebody we parked next to last time, and they said, "Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. They park for free." And we met him at a bar down the town a bit later on, and he said he was a German policeman, or at least used to be, and he said it'd be fine. So that was okay. And Gifhorn, you can only pay with cash last time, so we had to put it was €10 a night, and you had to get coins. So it wouldn't take notes, but it would only take coins. So we don't know whether we're going to stay at either one of those again before we get to Rostock, which is where we get the ferry. Rostock's quite nice because you're able to park on the dock, next to the dock. There's a sort of big car park and a lot of motorhomes parked there, waiting for the ferry for the next day. I think you just pay the parking fee and you can stay for whatever. So we'll probably book the ferry as we get closer to Rostock. That's what we normally do. So we booked the one-way trip just in case we want to come back a different way, actually, because we might come back across the bridges into Denmark and go that way. But not sure, because that's not going to be until another month and a bit. So but for the moment, we're really loving the journey. I hope you're enjoying it as we go along and show you around the places. This one we found on Search for Sites, and we've got two satnavs, one on the phone, which is the Google Maps, and one that we use that is specific to vehicle size. So we normally have them both running. So we go by the satnav on there, the Garmin 770 we have, because that takes us down the routes that are okay to take a 3.5 ton, 7.5 metre long, 3 metre high van, so we don't get stuck under low bridges and stuff like that. But about 10 kilometres out yesterday, I switched that off and went to the phone, because I thought, that's about 6-7 miles away and it can't be that bad. But it did take us down some streets that were limited to 3.5 ton. We're just below 3.5 ton, like 1 kilo under. But then it sent us down, lucky I noticed, because I was just about to turn left into a side street, which would have taken us direct to the road just up there. But it said that was limited to 2.5 ton, 2.5 ton. Lucky I noticed the sign before turning in. Well, I was actually making the manoeuvre and I just realised, I managed to check check all the rear view camera and the mirrors to make sure nothing else was coming, and then sort of veered off of that manoeuvre and went further down. Of course, it just recalculated and sent us down to the next junction, turn left, rather than turning left down that little side street. So you got to be careful. You got to be aware, haven't you, when you're using satnav. So, sometimes, because the reason I switched to the Google Maps on the phone was because the satnav, we had the Ordnance Survey coordinates, like the north and east longitude and latitude, but the satnav wouldn't accept the second set of coordinates. Like, it started with a 5 and all that was available to me was a 1. You can't, so it's ridiculous. So you can't do it. You try to put the address in, there's no real, on the Garmin, it asks for the house number first. If I don't know it, I normally put 1 or 10. That'll get us close enough. And then it asks for the street. And this sort of doesn't have a street, or not a recognisable street name that the Garmin satnav would take. So I just put it to go to the town, which is about 2 miles up the road. So and that's why I suppose I should have waited till we got to the town. But sometimes if you do that, you're going past the air, and this one isn't marked. It's not obvious. You have to be directed down this little side road, down a track. But there you go. That's that. And we're going to be, once Wendy's decided which air we'll go to, we'll put it into the sat-navs and the maps, and away we go. Because, we sort of make our way sort of mid-morning, and then have the afternoon of each day to sit and relax and, chat about this, that, and the other. So that's nice, and we meet new people. Actually, yesterday somebody's, an old guy that was walking. He lives here, he lives locally, but he likes to travel. His preferred mode of travel was a boat. He had a boat he used to go around on, but he also used to be an airline pilot, flew for KLM. And he told us loads about his life. His wife had died a few years back, and he was 88. He shared that with us, and nice chat. Well, he looked at when he came up. He was walking by, and he looked at our registration number, and he looked at us, and he says, "I suppose I should speak to you in English then." And it was like, yeah, not in Dutch or in German or in French. It's like, because up this way you sort of get that mix of languages. So, but that's what we do. We just meet people like that, and it's it's a lovely thing just to meet lots of new people. We'll probably never see him again, but nice guy, interesting, and that's the good thing about travelling. You see wonderful new places like this, right by the river, quiet, everybody's lovely, and everybody's friendly. In fact, the people in the creamy coloured motorhome, the man in there is a cyclist. So when they arrived, got themselves set up, and he went off on his bicycle for an hour's bike ride. When they came back, they got the outdoor shower out, and they both had a shower, like on on this side of the van. So it's like the side of the van. And of course, we were sat out, like having a drink, and just watching them shower. Yeah, we tried not to be too intrusive, but they sort of, waved at us, and we sort of, put our thumbs up. So we didn't film it, but there you go. So anyway, onwards towards Sweden we go. So we're in the Netherlands. We left the riverside little park up this morning, and we thought we'd go for just a little trip further towards Germany and Rostock. And we thought it was going to be a really easy journey. I can't remember the site we were going to go to, but we got on the big roads, started travelling around, and then there was I suppose about 40 minutes in, there was big roadworks. We were just about to turn on to, I think, or continue on to the A50.